Hello, everyone. We are officially recording and live. I am Hannah. I am here with Manika. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, it is so lovely and exciting to have you on the podcast today. Um,
Thank you.
I, yeah, I am so beyond inspired by you as a human, as a woman, as a runner, as now dipping my toe in the ultra running space. But for those who want to kind of get a bit of a backstory here, I invited Manika today on the podcast because you, my dear, are the first African American, not just woman, but just African American to go for the goal of 4 ultra marathon to the extreme ultra marathons. And it's in a series of like the Grand Slam. So I did a little bit of research, but I'm sure you know a bit more than I do. But I was curious if you could kind of walk me through what this massive goal that you're kind of in the middle of accomplishing and on your journey for.
Yeah, so the original race that I did first was in Namibia, and that it's
Okay.
a 7-day, 155-mile self-supported ultra marathon, and you carry all of your stuff. And so I did that race, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to do any more. But after completing that one, I decided that I was going to go for the Grand Slam, which is all four, and that includes Namibia, Mongolia, Antarctica, and the Atacama Desert in Chile. So
That's so badass. Oh my God. So I think beyond just Antarctica and like you have the coldest and the hottest places on Earth. First off, is just two of the spots
yeah.
on this list, which is so freaking gnarly. But in the best way of just like these aren't just baby goals. These are some goals that got some weight on them, and then they got a little steam to them too. So
Definitely.
walk me through. They're self-supported, right? So you have to kind of bring all your equipment with you. Like, what does just one of these look like when you break it down?
So the self-supported piece is the race itself, the organization requires you to bring 35 mandatory items. And
Okay.
that includes all of your meals, your sleeping supplies, your hygiene. They do provide water every 10K of the race. So you have to carry at least 2.5 liters of bottles with you, and they fill those up every 6 miles. But other than that, everything else is on your back. They do set up a tent for you in the evening. But yeah, for the week, you're carrying all of your own stuff. My bag typically, for the last 2 races I did, was about 25 pounds, which begins to
Dang.
feel really heavy after you run for hours and hours every day.
I mean, I have like a 25-pound vest that I'll put on like, oh, for my 30 minutes on a So the fact that you're going the distance in that is crazy. Holy crap. So are you bringing like sleeping bags, blankets? Like, is that also like the mandatory gear and things too?
Yes, sleeping bags. They require sleeping bags, a down coat, waterproof jacket, pants. They require a lot of stuff. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
you're fully stocked.
Holy crap. So your first one that you did was in Namibia?
Yes.
Okay. And that one was was that last year?
No, that was back in April. April.
Oh, you did both of these this year?
Yeah, everything will be done within a calendar year.
Oh
So yeah,
my
April was
God.
yeah, Namibia was in April, and then Mongolia was in June.
I didn't realize there was a year associated. I was just like, yeah, girl, you get those 4 ultras, a little bit at a time. Jesus. Okay. Holy crap. I love that. Oh my God. I mean, you know what they say, goals that don't have a not a deadline, but like a timetable. But that
Mm-hmm.
gets you. All right.
Yeah.
Damn. Is each race 155 miles?
Each race is 155 miles. There is a difference with the Antarctica race because they say it's so contingent on the weather.
Mm.
But if it's clear weather, it's based on time. So I think the longest that they'll have us out is 16 hours. Um, and so, but that race you stay on a boat, and so we'll be shipped around to different parts of the island or parts of the whatever continent and run. for different lengths of time, all grueling hours, grueling lengths of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that, you mentioned that you embarked on this journey in April. You've done two already. It's September, and you've already got your sights on these two next goals. One of them being Antarctica, which you just talked to me about, and then also the Atacama Desert, which is one of the
Yes.
most hottest places in the
Mm-hmm.
world. For these four to be necessarily called like a series, are there, other than the 155 miles, are there other categories or components that need to be making it part of a series?
They do have other races, like the one in Jordan. I think they call them roving races, so they do different races in different parts of the world. But the four prime ones are the Namibia, Mongolia, Antarctica, and Chile. And yeah, so those are the ones that make up the Grand Slam.
Holy hell. So from your first one, which was in Namibia, to you completing Gobi as well,
Mm-hmm.
are you feeling a bit more confident going into this third one? Because is Antarctica next or is Atacama
I think
next?
Antarctica is the next race in the series, and I think I learned my lesson about trying to feeling more confident going into one after the other, because I did Namibia and I made some, I wouldn't say drastic mistakes, but I learned from some things I could have fixed. And I thought going into Mongolia, like I got it. And then I made some mistakes or some things happened with that one. So I think each race will present its own things to deal with. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Oh man. And I was curious as well about Antarctica because like are you taking a flight down there and then a boat halfway? Like just the journey to get to Antarctica sounds like a journey within itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Just getting down there alone is a lot. So of course the flight would be from the States down to Argentina,
Okay.
Ushuaia, and then you get on a boat and then you cross the, I guess, Drake Passage. They say the famous Drake Passage, um, and then you're in the area.
Oh my God. That's so exciting. I wanted to take a step back because I did a little bit of a deeper dive on your Instagram a bit. And when did you, because this is a big ass goal, like just to put it out there fully, first to have the goal, like make the plans, like you said, you had 9 months to kind of plan some of this out and you continue to plan for the remainder of two that you have left. So, in the timeline of just this goal in itself, when did you get into running? Like, walk me back a little bit. Or was this kind of your foot in the door?
Well, I've been a runner ever since I was a child. As far as like sprinting, I got into
Okay.
track when I was about 12. And so I did hurdles. I did the 400 meters. I did 400-meter hurdles. But as far as the long distance running, my very first ultra was the one in Namibia, and I had never done anything longer than a regular marathon before that.
You're ballsy. I love it. Oh my God. To the marathon, it's time for an ultra, but not just any, the 155. I've gone the other route. I'm like, okay, let me do a 30K and then let me do a 100K or a 50K and then let me do a 100K. You just are
Mhm.
fucking going for it. I love that. I love that. That is so amazing. So you went from a sprinter to doing marathons, now doing ultra marathons.
Yeah, well, I would say after college, I finished with the sprinting. I started doing just like 5Ks and 10Ks, and I really enjoyed that distance. And I just kind of wanted to just push myself a little bit, so I entered a marathon back in 2022, and from there, just kind of just went for the ultra when I decided to sign up for Namibia.
How did this goal come to be? How did these four series, ultra marathons, self-supplied in different parts of the entire world come to fruition for you?
Sitting on my couch watching YouTube. I was watching. I was just watching different trail runners, and I don't even know why I started watching trail running, but yeah, I saw one race by Jeff Peltier. He was doing
Okay.
Namibia, and he did a video documentary of all of his experience. It looked amazing. I didn't take into account that he's like I guess a professional runner, and he didn't show as much of the struggle as I probably should have seen in advance. but he made it look amazing. The camping aspect, it just looked cool. The camaraderie with the different runners and just getting to, be a part of the culture, and it just looked amazing. So I said, I want to experience that. And I think it was good that I kind of went in blind,
Mhm.
because I think if I would have known the amount of pain I was going to experience, I may not have done it. But it was so special, and so I kind of became hooked after that. Even through all the pain I went through in Namibia, it's still such a special experience.
Because Namibia is pure sand, or there's the majority of it is sand. Is that right?
Yeah, and that was another thing. Like I
So,
knew the race was going to be a desert race, and I knew sand, but I didn't realize they were going to be able to find nearly 155 miles worth of sand, and they did. And this it was deep,
hmm.
soft sand for a lot of the race, and it was tough. And my gaiters on my shoes broke, and so I had sand in my shoes. I had terrible blisters. It was a rough experience, but beautiful.
Oh wow. So, all right. So I'm picturing you watching this YouTube being like, hell yeah, I can do that. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. So then you set off into Namibia, your first time. That's amazing. I love that for you. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
And you're learning all of these lessons. And I guess my biggest thing is like, I think when you're so removed from society and like in a very pure state of nature, whether it be sand or trees or whatever, I think it lets you be with, just lets you sit with yourself. So, what were you doing for those 155 miles? Were you talking to people? Were you self reflecting? Were you like, what the hell am I doing? Like, walk me through that.
Well, leading up to the race, I really thought that I was going to have like just this euphoric experience in the desert, all of these miles to just kind of just think and just and bask on the experience. But unfortunately, because I had experienced such terrible blisters from day one, like onward, it was 7 days of racing. My mind the entire time was just thinking about how much pain I was in and how I was going to get through to the checkpoints so the doctors could address my feet to get to the next checkpoint to finish the race. And, now that I look back, the pain, of course, is gone and I'm able to remember the good times. But during the race itself, it was misery.
Oh, man. And
Yeah.
gators, for those who don't know, I mean, I do because I've heard that they're a game changer, especially with like sand and dirt. But what are gators exactly?
Gaiters are what you put over your shoes to prevent any kind of debris from getting into them. So for
Mm.
Namibia, they suggested to have your gaiters sewn to your shoes and um, like up to your like almost up to your I guess calves, so that way no sand could get into the sneaker itself.
Holy crap! Up to your calf. I mean, I've seen the one that just sit on top of your shoes, but dang, it's little things like that you don't really think of that can make or break your whole race day. Because if it, like sand gets in between your toes and all that sort of thing, dang. So pain aside, did you know during that race you're going to sign up for your next one, or were you just let me get through, let me get through
No,
this
the
race?
entire time I prayed and said, if I can get through this, I promise I will never sign up for another one. Um, so no, I wasn't thinking I was I was going to be
Sounds about
signing up
right.
for any more. Yeah, no. It took me
No.
maybe like really after a few hours after the first race, um, I was able to think clearly and remember like, oh, that wasn't as bad as it could have been. And I was kind of ready to take on the next one and just see what I can adjust so that way I can enjoy the experience a little bit more. And yeah, so I decided Mongolia and kind of how I do things rather than just say I'll do Mongolia. I said I'll just do all of them uh, and put that out there to see what I could do.
Yeah. Did you know when you wanted to set out to do these last three races that you were going to be the first African American woman to try to accomplish them?
I did know that. I
Okay.
knew like for Namibia, I was the first African American woman to compete in Namibia. Um, and with the race itself, I did know that wasn't the driving force. It was just more so just something that is, I guess, a fact in itself. But it wasn't a driving force of wanting to do it because of that. It's just a really cool race series that I wanted to take on.
Hmm. But that is a beautiful concept now that you get to kind of another motivational reason, another inspiring attribute to get, you're doing it for more than just you, but
Yeah.
you're setting the stage for many, many other women too as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, of course. My God, I love that you signed up for all three or like made it after. So, how long did that take
I
you?
put it out there that I would like to do all three. I'm still working through a lot of the logistics is extremely expensive. And
Mm,
so just, put it out there, and I typically try to, do what I say, and so we'll go from there.
I'm the same as well. From when because I think this is a beautiful time lapse, it changes for every person that runs. From when you
Mhm.
completed Namibia to when you signed up for Gobi in Mongolia, what was the time?
There was a 6 week span between the Namibia and Mongolia. So I signed up for Mongolia 3 weeks after Namibia. Um,
Okay.
was ready to race 3 weeks after that.
Oh, yeah. So I think this is a very great moment because this is a learning lesson for myself and those that are listening. I hope you take this as well, that not everything, there can be structure, but my God, you freaking went for it and you crushed it. 3 weeks, three
Thank you.
weeks.
Yep, 3 weeks.
It doesn't always have to be so like, because I've planning for the 100K that I'm on.
Hmm.
I've been planning for this for 6 months.
Okay.
It would be unfathomable for me to be like, oh, 3 weeks, let me go. But I mean, I think it's, that's why I think it's so great. You don't always have to have, like, yes, have a plan, but have confidence in yourself that you
Hmm.
can, you know what I mean? Like, that is a very beautiful thing. Oh my, 3 weeks. Oh, hell yeah.
It's
Oh
kind of
my
how I
God.
operate. I kind of like to just do it.
I love that. That's how life's supposed to be lived. Other than, so would you say out of the two that remain, hot and cold,
Hmm.
Atacama, and Antarctica, which of the two are you more excited about one than the other?
Honestly, no, I wouldn't say that I am.
Okay.
Both locations, from what I've heard from people who've done both, um, Atacama seems to be people's favorite. Um,
Hmm.
and so I would think for me, Antarctica, just because it's completely different than anything I've ever experienced with the ice and icebergs and all of that. Um, but I don't know. I don't have a leaning towards either one really. Like they both seem
Okay.
pretty cool.
I still am just like so excited for you. That's going to be so amazing. You're going through like a life transition as well. You're on the road. So what has that been
Hmm.
like with these two races coming up and this transition of kind of just being outside, being in nature? I mean, that's a great thing to look forward to for the rest of this year, but can you walk me through that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it just started. I put all of my stuff in storage less than a week ago, and it's going to be just roaming free. I'm going to be looking at different locations where races are that I want to run in. And the goal, of course, is to be outside as much as I can, run as much as I can. I'm recovering from a surgery, so I can't run for the next several weeks. But once I am able to get back running, I'm going to be looking to see what I can get myself into and where that takes me. I'm not quite sure yet.
From signing up for these ultra marathons to then kind of changing and moving your stuff into storage and living a bit more like on the road so you can see as much and experience as much as possible. What I think that takes a certain type of mentality. From your perspective, has something shifted in this year to kind of make you want to turn more to doing ultra marathons and living life more abundantly on the road, experiencing more versus, last year?
Um, I feel that I've always been an adventurer. I've always loved to travel. I've traveled to many places. Um, and I've also kind of experienced living on the road before. Um, but I got uncomfortable, and so I sold the van that I had bought and went back to my apartment. But I think doing the ultras and just kind of experiencing that discomfort, but also experiencing the bliss that came right after. And I think that's partly what this next chapter is going to be, just kind of going through some discomfort because, being on the road, I'm not going to be staying in 5-star hotels every night. So it's going to be some discomfort at times, but I get to experience so much more. And I think that's going to be the special piece I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So finding like the beauty in discomfort. Because
Hmm.
I think you're very much right. I think amazing things come from when you allow yourself to be uncomfortable.
Hmm.
It's just being comfortable or just being aware that, okay, this little chunk is not my norm, but it's going to lead to so many amazing things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you have, so since, are you fully on the road now? Like
Yeah.
you're getting excited?
I am. I don't have a specific plan. I have a couple of locations that I would like to get to. I'm in the North Georgia mountains now at a little glamping site, but I'll be heading to my mom's for a little bit. And then after that, just gonna see where I go.
I love that. So no bucket list, just letting life take you.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. And I
Hmm.
think that is a very amazing thing that you can and that we're able to have this conversation because you get caught up in it. You get caught up in life and like it's not that serious. It's you're given a life to live it. And I think
Hmm.
that's a very great example of just being like, yeah, I'm gonna take a month or two, however long I need to, and
Hmm.
explore and be human and rekindle and wow,
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah.
amazing. Just letting go. Damn, woman, you're inspiring the shit out of me. Holy crap. I'm sitting here with like I've got like my work from home whole
Oh.
shit going on, but no, that's amazing. So you don't have anything planned in regard to like sites you want to see, but is there anything where it's like, okay, I've got this, maybe, maybe the Grand Canyon, or are you just, I know Utah's beautiful and they're very mountain-esque. That'll maybe the cold will prepare you for Antarctica.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to get out west. Utah, of course. Zion. I would love to go back. I've been once, and it was just stunning. So to go out there, do some camping in Zion, of course, the Grand Canyon. I will be in Thailand in November, and so I'm gonna look and see if there's any races in that area. Maybe some Asia travel. Um, yeah, some European stuff. Of course, there's Antarctica on the books or the
Yep.
plans, and so yeah, I mean, this year is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So Antarctica is next, right?
Yes.
I think I might have asked you that already, but yes. So
Hmm.
when is the that race actually start, or when do you need to be there by?
The race is the end of November. It's the exact date I believe is November the 26th. I believe it starts.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm still trying to wrap my head around, the mindset of just being able to let go. That I'm because having this conversation with you, you have this energy that's very calm, very centered, very like it's very refreshing, and it's a nice thing to be on the receiving end and just
Oh,
kind
thank
of
you.
of course I've just kind of um let your goals and aspirations, hopefully, and you've inspired me and other people as well to kind of let go and live.
Oh,
um
thank you.
I mean, where can we keep track of all of the amazing things that you're up to and you're conquering and you're accomplishing?
I document most of my experience on Instagram.
Okay.
Um, I post occasionally to YouTube. I need to do better with getting to my YouTube, but Instagram on Manika Runs
Okay.
is where I do all of my posts, and then TikTok um, as well.
Okay.
All under Manika Runs.
Okay, I'll add that. I'll put that in the show notes as well because I'm sure people are
Okay.
going to want to follow along too.
Oh.
All right, woman. So we've gotten to the point where we're at rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So these are just kind of fun. Have you seen Friends?
Yes, I've seen some episodes of Friends.
Okay, so there's an episode in Friends when like Phoebe basically directs Joey on which route to go, and she does it through like rapid fire questions. So this is kind
Okay.
of a fun way for people to get to know you better. Um, but but yeah. So first one is: do you have a go-to gas station snack?
A go-to gas station snack, I would say, would be sunflower seeds. Because
Oh,
if I'm getting a snack out of the gas station, it's because I'm tired driving or something, and so sunflower seeds would be what I would go to,
okay. So you're more salty than sweet.
depending on the day.
Okay. Okay. I used to play baseball when they didn't have like a girls league, so I would do the sunflower seeds, and it just like got all stuck in my. And
Uh-huh.
I didn't do it. Never learned how to do it gracefully, so I just
Uh-huh.
like looked like I was missing teeth. But so I've stayed away from the sunflower seeds. I usually go to like the nuts, like the
Mm-hmm.
cashews. But yours
Mm-hmm.
sounds way more interesting. Oh
Keep me
man.
up.
So what are three, oh, these are good because this is very beneficial. What are three crucial things that you have in your running pack? Let's say you're going for a long run, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure because you're doing those, you're training for 155 miles, so it's not like it's a walk down the street. What are you keeping in your running pack that are like, okay, gotta haves?
My Tailwind nutrition for my
Mm,
hydration. I use Tailwind, my phone, so I can record myself and,
nice.
keep for safety as well. And my third thing would be, what I have? Gum. I do like to have gum.
Hmm.
So from time to time,
I got
especially
you.
if it's a very long run, to kind of keep me occupied a bit.
Hmm. All right. And the Tailwind, you have like the carbohydrate electrolyte mix. I've never had Tailwind before, but you see it all over.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, carbs, electrolytes. It's sometimes it's caffeine. I'll go for the caffeine one sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's easy on my stomach. It's what I drink for all of my runs.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you ever do like the chews and the chews and the goos and the gels?
Occasionally,
Okay.
but for the most part, just the tailwind is everything that you need in one.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. That's very impressive. Sometimes I just kind of miss chewing, but maybe that's what the gum is for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, I gotta have. I don't know. When you slurp down so many gels, it gets a
Mm-hmm.
little like baby food. And I was just curious,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Now for like a race itself, like the ultra, it was the tailwind, but also like snacks. Um,
mm,
but not as no goose or anything like that though.
I feel like when you get to that level of distance, like you almost have to have like not the like. I feel like it's not that goos and gels are cheating, but it's like it's food, but it's not. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if you get to that certain level, you almost like you need to have some oomph to what you're
Yeah.
putting in your body
Mm-hmm.
for sure. So are you, I don't think I've asked this earlier, when you're on these 155-mile ultra runs and these long runs, are you headphones or no headphones?
No headphones. Headphones
Mm.
only in like an emergency situation, and I have had to take them out once on each race in Mongolia and
Okay.
Namibia, and that was when I was like having a complete meltdown, and the music kind of picked me up for just a little bit, and then I took them out. Yes, just a few
Yeah.
minutes at a time in emergency situations for
Yeah.
me.
I gotcha. I'm the same as well. I think, well, I guess it depends on why you're running. If you're running fast to beat a time or if you're just trying to work through some shit, to me, it
Mm-hmm.
does me a disservice to have something in my ears while I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
kind of process something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I feel you like when shit hits the wall and you need like a little bit of like some sunshine,
Yeah.
putting those suckers in, kind of lifting you up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain I'll probably have to do that on my 100K. But man, I also thank you for sharing that you had meltdowns. Not that that's anything to glamorize, but I think that's also to know like it's okay when you're on these big ass runs or long ass runs that it's okay to have some moments of weakness as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think it would be unrealistic to say that you have no meltdowns in those distances. You'll have
Mm-hmm.
many, many meltdowns. So
Yes. Not meltdowns, but I'm sure even sometimes on shorter runs, I think I'll even question like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like even when
Mhm,
that pain cave hits, I feel like you start to
mhm.
question a lot. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I could see music being a very nice friend at that point. I may use that
Yeah.
tip. Yep. Okay. What is one thing that you want listeners to know about you?
Um, for me, I'm more than a runner. I feel like I'm a multifaceted person. Running is just one aspect of what I do, but it's not who I am. And so,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I would say like with the nomadic life now and just, traveling and adventuring, it's not anything different. It's just a part of who I am, and I'm not just solely a runner. And so, yeah, this is just a part of who I am.
I like that. That's a really great thing. I do you ever listen to Sally McRae?
Sally McRae. Is she the yellow runner?
She is Yellow Runner.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know about her Instagram name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She had a podcast or has a podcast as well, and there's an episode where she says something very similar. Like running is a facet for me, a way for me to inspire and people to
Mm.
know me, but it's not. all of me. It's not who I
Mm-hmm.
am. It's just kind of a branch of how I can show who I am, but not
Mm-hmm.
all of who I am. So
Yeah.
I very much agree with you on that one. I think
Mm-hmm.
running is something that we do. It's not just who we are, but
Right.
it is a way to connect us, I think,
Mm.
which is a great thing, especially the running community. It's insane. Like the run
Yeah.
clubs popping up and all of that. But
Absolutely.
thank you very much for saying that. That's a great reminder too. Okay. And then last question.
Hmm?
What are 3 things that you're grateful for?
My family, my health, and the ability to run, and I would say my faith.
Hmm. Yeah. That was beautiful. Well, thank you. That's the podcast. You
Well,
crushed
thank
it.
you.
You so
Thank
crushed
you
it.
so much for having me.
Of course, of course. And for those that are listening, I do have all of your information in the bio. Um, so folks can tag along and keep track of you and see what you're up to. Not in a creepy way, of course, but just kind of
No,
making
I
sure
get
to
it.
check in. I delivered that a little weird. I was like, they can track you and deliver. But yes, just to see all the amazing things that you're up to.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course.